There we go. Coordination is a little bit off this morning. So how you doing today? Making some progress here in this other cookie tin cigar. Got the neck cut out for the most part. I'm gonna angle this one down, put a couple planks on the outside, and I think I'm gonna use homemade pegs to run through. And I may even put the frets on this one, and I can't remember exactly what it's called, but space them like they do on a dulcimer, which gives a different pitch than the regular spacing on the frets on a guitar or banjo. I got that going. A bit chilly today. It's about 44 out, which is kind of nice. So I got my cup of Folgers right here. I don't get no better than that with some hazelnut creamer in it. Anyway, I was screwing around on YouTube last night. I want to see if I could see some videos from the last concert at the Allman Brothers give the other night at the Beacon Theater in New York City. And there were a bunch of them on there. It's hard to believe it. They played for 45 years, various members in and out, including the tragic death of probably, in my mind, the best guitarist that ever slung a guitar in rock and roll, especially a finger slide, Duane Allman, who coincidentally passed away in Macon on the very night that the Allman Brothers ended their show, which is a little after midnight. I guess they played about 4 hours. And then about a year later, the bassist Barry Oakley was killed in a wreck just a few blocks from where Duane was killed and severely injured in his motorcycle wreck, and he died a few hours later, I understand. But anyway, I've been a lifelong fan of the Allman Brothers ever since I heard their first album, which came out in the late 60s. And you get a chance, just go on YouTube or wherever and just listen to their Live at the Fillmore album. I mean, that thing is so cosmic and stellar. It's still going. I mean, you can't help but be moved by hearing Duane on his slide guitar in Statesboro Blues. I mean, that is just so incredible. And while I was listening to the Allman Brothers last night, it just kind of dawned on me. Well, no, it didn't dawn on me. It just drove home the fact that the point that the music that was so inspirational and transformative of that era, when the Allman Brothers were just really kicking, before they went through their troubles with the drug abuse and after the deaths and everything. But and I'll call it the shit that's put out today by these overproduced, highly slick artists is nowhere compared to the stuff that the Allman Brothers did and other bands of that era. And then we got this crap, this hip-hop rap, whatever you want to call it. I mean, that stuff reminds me of the old Johnny Weissmuller Tarzan movies I saw as a kid, with the natives beating on their drums and just being what they are. Is it any wonder that our culture has just gone down the shitter in the last, it just seems like it's really like snowballed downhill the last 20 years or so. And just the other day I read a thing on the internet, on a Fox News channel there on the internet, where a couple of kids come home from a elementary school, I forget the location, in Tennessee, with that Nation of Islam bullshit. Their flyers were just blasting the foundation of our country and the forefathers. And the teachers in the school said, well, the little Johnny and little Susie weren't supposed to bring that home. Well, gee, I wonder why. I mean, why aren't these teachers and the superintendent and the principals run out of town on a rail? Is it any wonder that the heritage of our European ancestors that come over and made this country what it is falling flat on its face. We bent over backwards, and it's to be a blessing to the rest of the world, and we're just being shit on. I got nothing but the utmost respect for the old school blacks that I knew, the old school Hispanics, good, hard-working, honest folk, and I'll go out of my way to stand with them against any fight with anybody. But this new wave, shit. And it's not only the thugs of the black culture today, it's just terrible. It's like a cancer. And it's spreading into the youth, and it has been for some time now, of the other minorities and the whites in this country, and it's disgusting. But going back to, I don't know how in the hell I got off on that, but into the Allman Brothers. Take some time when you get to it and just listen to some of their early stuff, and then compare it to their lineup in the band of the last 10 years or so, when Warren Hayes and Derek Trucks, who is the nephew of the drummer Butch Trucks, they recaptured the essence of the early Allman Brothers when Dwayne and Barry were still with them, the original, and Dickie Bass before he went on his nosedive. But what happened in New York City the other night with the closing of the Allman Brothers, it's the end of an era. I'm sad to say, but they went out with their heads held high. And with that, just be safe and be sane, because if you don't, Obama and the government's going to get your ass. Be careful.